Hey, this is Mike Lindsay from Vital MX, and we have two more of the SX Global 2022 FIM World Supercross Championship teams that have been announced this morning. One of them was definitely expected by pretty much anybody that's been following the upcoming news for this series and kind of had a guess at what the teams were. And the other is a little bit shocking, so we're going to jump right into it. The two teams announced today are CDR Yamaha, which stands for Craig Dack Racing. If you're a general fan of the sport, more Supercross, you may recognize the name, but if you follow Australian racing, then you definitely do. Craig Dack runs the Factory Yamaha operation in Australia. Has for, I'm going super rough here, I think like 20 years now. Him himself was a racer, professional racer in Australia before that. He's pretty infamous for being kind of one of the guys that got Chad Reed over to America, was working with him when he did the YOT program and then went to Factory Yamaha. And since then, Craig has just fielded an extremely professional program in Australia. He's had a couple Americans go over, but he tends to focus, it seems, more like on Australia talent. The couple people I know that have had the ability to go over and ride from, though, have basically said, yeah, his program up and through is very professional, maybe the most US-like in terms of resources and crew he has and connection he has with brands such as Yamaha and KYB and the kind of support he gets. So Craig currently, again, runs the Factory Yamaha program Australia, but it is a 450 program, or has been for the last, at least decade or so. So he will be adding on by running 250Fs. We believe from what we've heard, even on the American side, he is probably of the teams that is going, that'll be Yamaha. He's getting the most level of support. We expect him to have good bikes, good program. He does currently have riders, of course, in the Australian series. We kind of doubt that those will end up being the guys that end up racing the Global Series due to conflicts. Maybe Luke Clout, because of his US Supercross experience, who currently rides for the team, might. But we expect Craig to pretty much hire possibly an all-new team for his series. We know of a couple American riders that are speaking to him. We're sure there'll end up probably being an Aussie on the team as well. But we will soon see those announcements come out. Like I said, we've heard of him talking to quite a few guys, so we imagine he'll get those things together and announce it here pretty soon. As for the second announcement, this one is a little bit of a shocker, but if you were following the sport more in the mid-2000s, you may recognize the name Ware Racing. Ware, for the past 15 years or so, is more known for running being an independent team in NASCAR throughout different series, whether it's the Cup Series, any of the Busch Leagues, the trucks. They run programs in IMSA, sports car series, a little bit IndyCar stuff, just kind of a range of autosports. Rick Ware also had a Supercross team, believe it was 07-08 or just 08. A lot of people might remember the Bad Boy Energy Honda team. They had riders such as like Jake Marksack, Jeff Alessi. I believe Jessica Patterson was branded through their team at one point, I think around that year as well. So he does have a little bit of Supercross, motocross experience, and even as recent as this year, he was helping sponsor privateer racer Logan Carnow. So again, the prior experience for Rick Ware Racing is on Hondas, but they were just a private team at the time. We really don't know what sort of OEM connection they have. There's nothing in the announcement, nothing we've heard rumor. This one was a little bit surprising for us to see. We weren't, again, because of his prior motocross, supercross experience, it doesn't completely shock us, but there hasn't been recent talk about him coming back into this side of racing. With that, we really don't know what OEM they're going to run. The way that the SX Global guys have been doing these announcements, one of the things they send out with the images in the press package is these colored like flags to represent the team. And so far, the other 5 teams have been announced, the 4 before these two, plus Craig Dax, the flag is representative of their OEM color. Rick Ware's announcement is just a black flag. We don't know really what they could end up on. We already have representation from all 4 Japanese OEMs in the series, along with Yamaha now having 2 teams announced. We would imagine that the series is really going to want an Austrian brand with only a few more teams to announce, about another 4. Either Rick Ware or one of those 4, we imagine, would have to be on an Austrian bike, whether it's a Gas or a KTM, maybe a Husky. We do know that one of the upcoming teams is definitely on Honda, so that thins down the list a little bit more. As we think we mentioned last week's video, basically the way they'll be doing these announcements, we have 4 more teams left to hear about. We believe we will get 2 more next week and 2 more the week after. So here in about another 2 weeks, we'll have the full total of 10 teams. If you missed last week's announcement, The other teams that were announced was the Moto Concept Honda squad of Mike Genova, PMG, which stands for Pipes Motorsports Group, which more people know as the HEP Suzuki team, owned by Dustin Pipes, Bud Racing Kawasaki, French Supercross team, and GSM Yamaha, also another French Supercross team. Those were all announced last week. So Rick Ware and Craig Dack joined them, giving us 6 out of 10 teams. If you check out the link below, we actually have interviews with the other 4 team owners that were announced last week up on our site of Vinyl-MX.com. Again, link is below. We're trying to get an interview with both Rick and Craig right now. We just reached out to him, so hopefully we'll have some news back in the next couple days or so, getting a little bit more insight into both of their programs. So that's the latest in the news we know for the FIM World Supercross Championship. We also expect a series announcement to come up soon. It is, of course, running this fall into winter. We expect the start date to be around early October and end in late November. We believe it could be anywhere from 5 to 6 rounds is what we're expecting in that announcement. But hopefully we will know more soon on that. If you like this news, give us a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.